Good morning, beloved. Today, we step into a sacred space, into a divine appointment that heaven has scheduled just for you. There is a stirring happening in the spirit realm. Maybe you have felt it. Maybe you have found yourself wide awake between 2am and 3am. Your heart restless, your mind racing, your soul quietly crying out for change. What if I told you that this is not coincidence? That this hour, this sacred, quiet hour when the world is still, is the time when God draws closest to those he is preparing for something greater. Throughout Scripture and throughout history, we see that prayer changes things. But more than that, prayer changes people. There are countless testimonies, both ancient and modern, of ordinary people who cried out to God in the midnight hour and saw the impossible become possible. A mother in despair over her prodigal child whispered a simple prayer at 2:17 and by morning, her son called home for the first time in years, sober, repentant, and ready to be restored. A man broken by financial ruin knelt in silence at 2:43am, not knowing how he would face the day. But before sunrise, a forgotten friend wired him funds that turned his story around. A woman battling stage 4 cancer was prompted to wake at 2:30am and speak life over her body in Jesus' name. Weeks later, doctors stood stunned before scans they could not explain, declaring, "There is no trace left." What made the difference? It was not the eloquence of their words. It was not the length of their prayers. It was their faith. It was the expectation that God hears, God sees, and God answers. So if you have woken in those dark hours, if you have tossed and turned with a heaviness you can name, know this: you are not being disturbed. You are being summoned. The 2am hour is not for worry. It is for warfare. It is not for fear. It is for faith. This is the hour of breakthroughs. The hour where angels are dispatched, where chains are broken, where doors that seemed sealed shut for years begin to creak open in the presence of relentless prayer. Today, I want to stir your spirit and prepare your heart to encounter the living God. This is not just another prayer. This is a declaration, a battle cry, a key to unlock the heavens over your life. So I ask you now, come expectantly. Come ready. Come with your heart wide open, because the God who neither slumbers nor sleeps has not forgotten you. He has been waiting in the silence for this moment. Let us press in with boldness. Let us believe again, because if you woke up between 2am and 3am, heaven is calling your name, and your breakthrough is already on the way. Dear Heavenly Father, you woke me up in this sacred hour not by chance, not by restlessness, but by divine summons. Between 2am and 3am, while the world lies asleep, you have called my spirit to attention. You have drawn me into this holy moment to declare, to decree, and to war not with flesh and blood, but in the Spirit. I do not rise in fear. I rise in faith. I rise because heaven has something to release, and I will not miss it. Lord, I stand before you, trembling and expectant. This is not just another prayer. This is my breakthrough cry. I speak into the darkness and I say, "Let there be light." I speak into the silence and I declare, God is here, the same God who split the Red Sea, who shut the mouths of lions, who raised the dead and calmed the storms. I call upon you now to move mightily in my life. Every assignment of the enemy that was sent to steal my peace, derail my purpose, and crush my hope, I break it now in the name of Jesus. Every chain that has bound my family for generations, I speak deliverance. Every curse spoken over my name, my health, my finances, my mind, I send it back to the pit from which it came. For it is written, no weapon formed against me shall prosper, and every tongue that rises in judgment shall be condemned. Holy Spirit, I invite you into this very room. Come like a mighty rushing wind. Come like fire and burn away every lie I have believed, every fear I have entertained, every doubt that has held me hostage. Stir within me a faith that cannot be shaken. I stand on your word. I trust in your timing, and I believe in your power. You are the God who parts midnight with miracles. I lift up every area of brokenness in my life right now. God, you see the tears I have cried when no one else did. You know the ache I carry that words can't express. I give you my weariness. I give you my wondering. I give you my waiting. Turn it all into worship. Turn it into a testimony. I declare that I am not forgotten. I am not invisible to you. You saw me when I was in the valley. You saw me when I almost gave up. And still you chose me. Still you called me by name. Still you whispered, daughter, son, rise again. Lord, awaken every dry place in me. Let your living waters flood my soul, renew my dreams, resurrect my purpose, and restore my joy. I will not fear the shadows of night, because your light breaks through even the darkest hour. This is the hour of divine reversal. What was meant for evil, you are turning for good. I stand in the authority of Jesus Christ, and I speak to every closed door open now in his name. I speak to every barren place come alive. I speak to the impossible bow before the King of Glory. I speak to the delay, your time is up. I speak to every demon that has tried to torment my sleep, disrupt my peace, and paralyze my destiny. You are defeated, cast out, and silenced by the blood of the Lamb. Father, teach my hands to war and my knees to bend. Let this be more than a moment. Let it be a movement in my life. You are birthing something in this midnight hour. You are shifting the atmosphere. You are releasing angels on assignment. You are shaking the foundations of everything that has held me back. And I say yes. Yes to the pruning. Yes to the pressing. Yes to the promise. My eyes are open. My spirit is alert. My heart is expectant. I will not leave this hour the same. I came trembling, but I will rise triumphant. Because you, O God, are not a man that you should lie. Your promises are yes and amen. You finish what you start. You redeem what was lost. You restore what was broken. You revive what looked dead. I believe you are moving right now behind the scenes, beneath the surface, beyond what I can see. And I wait until the battle is over to praise you. I lift up a shout of victory now. I thank you for the healing now. I claim the provision now. I walk in deliverance now. I dance in freedom now. Between 2AM and 3AM, you are writing a new chapter for me. a chapter where fear bows to faith, where delay gives way to destiny, where sorrow is clothed in songs of joy, and where the voice of the enemy is drowned out by the roar of heaven saying it is done. So here I am, Lord, awake, surrendered, and ready. Speak, move, consume me, because I know my breakthrough is not only near, it has already begun, and even now. Father, as the world sleeps on, I feel you breathing over me. The stillness is thick with your presence. My heart beats in rhythm with eternity, and I sense that this moment is not ordinary, it is consecrated. You are closer now than ever before, hovering over the void in my life, just as you hovered over the waters in the beginning, ready to speak light into my darkness. I sense you stirring up the embers of faith inside me. Where there was apathy, there is now fire. Where there was fear, there is now courage. Where there was resignation, there is now resolve. You are awakening the warrior within me, not to fight with my hands, but to wrestle in the spirit, to pray until heaven invades earth. I will not be silent. I will not be still. My voice will echo through the night, calling down the promises that hovered just out of reach. Lord, I do not just want a breakthrough around me, I want a breakthrough in me. Transform my thinking, heal the hidden wounds, tear down the strongholds I have unknowingly erected. Strip away the bitterness that has crept in through the cracks of disappointment. Wash me clean of self-pity, of comparison, of complaining. I do not want to carry any weight that you did not place on me. If it is not holy, take it. If it is not fruitful, prune it. If it is not of you, burn it away. This hour is sacred not just because of what you are doing, but because of who you are becoming to me. In this intimacy, I do not just seek your hand, I seek your face. I want to know your voice like I know my own breath. I want to recognize your whisper over the shouting of my anxieties. Teach me, Father, to discern the movement of your spirit, to feel the brush of angels' wings when they pass by, to hear the symphony of heaven harmonizing with my praise. God, some battles I have fought for years, some prayers I have whispered so many times they have turned into silent groans. But I know now that not a single cry has been wasted. You bottled every tear. You recorded every sigh. You remembered every promise. And you are not late. You are not absent. You are a master weaver, threading breakthrough into the very fabric of my struggle. So I give you my history, all the mistakes, the regrets, the missed opportunities. I lay them at your feet and say, redeem them, rewrite them, repurpose them. Show me how you make all things new, not by erasing the past, but by transforming it into testimony. Let the very things that tried to destroy me become the stones I stand on. Let what once humiliated me become what now glorifies you. Father, I ask you to walk through every room of my soul, sweep it clean, open the curtains, expose what is hidden, heal what is bruised, uproot what has been buried for too long. I am not afraid of the cleansing, even if it stings, because I know what follows is freedom. True, unshakable freedom, the kind that be stolen by circumstances or swallowed by despair. I declare this hour as a turning point, not just a fleeting emotional high, but a spiritual pivot, a moment when heaven leaned low and earth responded, a moment when I stopped running, stopped hiding, stopped doubting, and started believing again. Believing that you are who you say you are, that you are still the God of suddenlies, that even now, as I speak, things are shifting in realms I cannot see. You are sending answers in motion. You are softening hearts I have been praying for. You are aligning people, opportunities, and resources. You are orchestrating divine connections. You are releasing what has been held up, opening what has been locked, and collapsing what has been hindering. You are moving in silence, but I hear the rustling of victory in the wind. God, let this prayer not just be words. I want it to be a fragrance that rises to your throne. Let it be incense in your courts, sweet and persistent. Let it be a sound that pierces the heavens and demands attention. Not because I am righteous, but because I am yours, and a child who calls on their father is never ignored. I lift up my family to you now. Cover them, Lord. Protect them from things seen and unseen. Draw them into the same awakening. If they are lost, find them. If they are wounded, heal them. If they are hardened, melt them. Let generational curses be broken tonight. Let cycles of pain stop with me. Let my lineage be marked by faith, by blessing, by supernatural encounters with you. I bring my body before you. Every cell, every organ, every ache and affliction. I speak healing in Jesus' name. I speak restoration down to the marrow of my bones. Let no sickness linger in the temple you have created. Let no report from man override the report of heaven. You said, by your stripes I am healed. So I claim it, not later now, not in theory and truth. I bring my mind before you. Every thought that does not align with your word, evict it. Every lie I have believed, silence it. Every tormenting voice, mute it. Replace the static of fear with the melody of peace. Guard my thoughts like a fortress. Fill my dreams with revelation. Let my sleep be deep, uninterrupted, and drenched in your presence. I bring my finances before you, not from a place of greed, but stewardship. I want to build what honors you. I want to sow where you lead. I want to be a conduit of provision, not just a receiver. So break the spirit of lack. Break the fear of not enough. Remind me that you own the cattle on 1,000 hills, and if you take care of the sparrows, you will take care of me. I bring my calling before you, even when it feels vague, even when I question its direction. I trust that you are leading, and I do not need the whole map, just the next step. Show me where to go, open the door, and if there is no door, give me the faith to build one. Let obedience be my compass. Let surrender be my strength. Lord, I repent for every time I gave up too soon, for every moment I let discouragement win, for every hour I spent worrying instead of worshiping. You have always been faithful. Even in my wandering, you pursued me. Even when I lost my voice, You heard my heart, even when I wanted to quit. You whispered, "Hold on, I am not finished yet." I receive that word. Lord, I receive it deep into my bones. You are not finished yet. You are not finished healing me. You are not finished using me. You are not finished redeeming my story. You are not finished writing chapters I have not imagined yet. So I release every outcome into your hands. I release the timeline. I release the how and the when. I trade my questions for your peace. I lay down my striving and pick up your promises. Because I know that whatever you do, it is better than what I could ask or imagine. And even now, in this sacred hour, I feel you renewing my strength, like wings rising from ashes, like rivers bursting from dry land, like hope that refuses to be buried. You are reviving me not just for survival, but for purpose, not just for blessing, but for legacy, not just for today, but for eternity. And as I feel your breath in mine, Father, I know you are awakening more than just my body. You are awakening destiny. You are stirring up the gifts that have lain dormant, the callings that have been buried under insecurity and distraction. You are calling forth the anointing that you placed in me before I was even formed in the womb. You are not just healing what is broken, you are reactivating what has been silenced. You are speaking to the potential in me that I forgot I carried. And in this holy hour, I say yes. Yes to the assignment. Yes to the stretching. Yes to the refining fire. Even when it costs me my comfort. Even when it challenges my pride. I say yes, because what you have for me is greater than what I have held on to. You are calling me higher not for applause, but for impact. Not for spotlight, but for surrender. You are shaping me into a vessel that carries your glory. And I welcome the process, even the crushing, because I know what it produces is oil that cannot be bought. God, I thank you for the seasons that did not make sense, for the prayers you answered with silence, for the doors you closed to protect me, for the people you removed so I could grow, for the nights I thought I was abandoned, when really you were building something I could not yet see. I thank you for the breaking, because in the breaking, you broke open new things inside me. You broke my pride. You broke my idols. You broke the illusion that I could do this without you. I see now that those nights were not empty. They were wombs pregnant with purpose, pain birthing promise. I was not being punished. I was being prepared. And now, in this stillness between dusk and dawn, I declare that I will not go back. I will not shrink. I will not apologize for the anointing you have given me. I will walk in it, boldly and humbly, knowing it was never about me. It has always been about you. Lord, I lift up the dreams that scare me, the visions that feel too big, the callings that stretch beyond my resources. My connections, my own ability, I lay them before you, not as wishful thinking, but as seeds of obedience. I trust you to water them, to shine light on them, to prune them in season. I give you permission to grow them in ways I never expected, even when it costs more than I thought I could give. I lift up every delay I have endured not as defeat, but as divine setup. For every year I thought was wasted, I now see layers of foundation you were laying. You were not denying me, you were deepening me. You were stretching my roots so that when I bloom, I will not topple under the weight of the fruit. You were making me strong in the unseen places. And now, I embrace the delay, not with frustration, but with faith. I declare over my life, I am not behind. I am not too late. I am not disqualified. What God has for me will not pass me by. What was delayed will be delivered. What was stolen will be restored. What was dead will be resurrected. Because you, O God, are the author, and you do not lose the plot. You write redemptive endings. You write beauty from ashes. You write stories that confound the wise and elevate the humble. I thank you for being the God who sees. El Roy, the one who watches when no one else does, who counts my sleepless nights, who listens to every sigh, who holds my heart when it can't hold itself. I thank you for your nearness, not just when I feel strong, but especially when I feel undone. You do not run from my weakness. You do not recoil from my pain. You enter it. You dwell in it. You transform it. So I surrender my striving. I lay down every mask I have worn to survive. The smile that hides the ache. The business that numbs the longing. The cynicism that guards against hope. I remove it all. I come bare before you unfiltered, unpolished, fully known. And in that vulnerability, I find not judgment, but embrace, not rejection, but redemption. Lord, let your word come alive in me like never before. Let it not just be ink on pages, but breath in my lungs. Let it be the sword I wield when doubt comes knocking. Let it be the lamp that guides me when the path disappears. Let it be written on the walls of my heart so deeply that no circumstance can erase it. I speak over this day that is dawning. It will not be like the days before. I prophesy renewal over my minutes and miracles over my hours. I declare divine interruptions. I declare favor I did not expect and peace that surpasses understanding. I declare divine alignment in my conversations, my assignments, my posture, and my pace. Let every step I take today be led by your Spirit. Done to just be beside me, be within me. Saturate my speech, govern my responses, temper my emotions with wisdom. Let my presence carry your presence, so that when I walk into a room, atmospheres shift. Let me be an answer to someone's silent prayer. Let me be a reflection of your mercy. And Lord, I cry out now not only for myself, but for every soul that stirs in this same hour with questions too heavy to bear. For every mother awake and weeping over a child who has gone astray. For every father staring at bills he can't pay. For every daughter entangled in shame. Every son drowning in silence. Reach them. Father, let this same Spirit that surrounds me surround them. Let your love wrap around their hearts like a blanket of peace. Dispatch your angels. O God, let them encamp around our homes, our children, our futures. Let them guard against the schemes of the enemy. Let no weapon prosper, no shadow linger, no fear prevail. We cancel every assignment of darkness sent against your people. We speak confusion into the enemy's camp and clarity into ours. We command clarity, order, peace, and breakthrough in the name of Jesus. We rise not as beggars but as heirs. We do not plead from a place of poverty, we declare from a place of promise. You said we are seated with Christ in heavenly places. So we take our seat not in anxiety, but in authority. We pray from victory, not for victory. We do not fight for approval, we fight from identity. And our identity is this: we are beloved, we are chosen, we are redeemed, we are yours. Let this early hour become a lifestyle of communion. Let me never again sleep through the holy invitation you extend in the quiet hours. If you wake me at 2 a.m., I will rise. I will meet you in the silence. I will answer the call. I will fight in prayer. I will contend for my promises. I will plead the blood. I will tear down strongholds. I will lift up your name until the darkness trembles. And when the sun rises, may I walk with the residue of glory on my face. May I carry the scent of heaven into every place I go. May I speak with a wisdom not my own and love with a grace that exceeds my natural limits. Let people see my life and not marvel at me, but wonder about you. You are my everything, Father, my breath, my anchor, my song in the night. You are the God who wakes me to war, who meets me in stillness, who calls me by name and reminds me that no battle is too big, no detail too small. You hold it all, and I trust you completely. And even now, Lord, as the quiet still surrounds me, I feel your voice rising louder than every storm I have faced, louder than the voice of doubt, louder than the noise of failure, louder than every whisper that told me I would not make it. You speak not just to my circumstances, but to my very identity, reminding me of who I am because of who you are. I am not my past. I am not my pain. I am not the mistakes I made when I was hurting and blind. I am your child, sealed, redeemed, and set apart for such a time as this. God, I have spent too many nights rehearsing my fears. But tonight, I rehearse your promises. I call them out loud. I anchor my faith in them. You are Jehovah Jireh, my provider, when my hands feel empty. You are Jehovah Rapha, my healer, when my body is weak. You are El Shaddai, more than enough, when I feel I am not enough. You are Emmanuel, God with me, when everyone else has walked away. You are my hiding place, my fortress, my defender, and the lifter of my head. You have never lost a battle, and you are not going to start now, not with me. I feel a shift, not because my eyes see it yet, but because my spirit senses the ground trembling beneath the weight of your promises being fulfilled. And so, even in this midnight hour, I will praise. I will worship through the tears. I will dance in advance of deliverance. I will speak faith louder than fear. This is the kind of praise that breaks chains. This is the sound of breakthrough, raw, relentless, rooted in truth. Let my worship be more than words, let it be war. Let every note I sing, every scripture I speak, every tear I release become a weapon in the spirit. Let the enemy regret ever trying to steal my joy, ever trying to silence my voice, ever trying to convince me I was forgotten, because now I know, now I have tasted the fire of your presence, and I will never be the same. Lord, I come against the spirit of weariness, not just physical exhaustion, but the deep, spiritual tiredness that weighs on the soul, the kind that makes me question if it is even worth to keep believing, the kind that sneaks in when the answers are slow, when the days are long, when the pain returns. But I remember now that those who wait on the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings like eagles. They shall run and not grow weary. They shall walk and not faint. So breathe your breath of strength into me, God. Give me endurance for the race ahead. Teach me to pace myself by your rhythm, not the pressure of this world. Let me not run ahead of you, nor lag behind, but walk in step with your Spirit. When I am tempted to give up, whisper again, just a little further, and when I can take another step, carry me, as you have so many times before. God, I bring before you the dreams I stopped praying for, the desires I buried because hope hurt too much, the places in me that went silent from disappointment. I lay them on your altar again, not to manipulate an outcome, but to declare that I still believe you are able, even when my faith feels fragile, even when my heart trembles. I bring it all. You are not intimidated by my honesty. You are not offended by my questions. You are the one who turns doubt into deeper dependence. And I pray now for divine acceleration, not man-made shortcuts, not forced outcomes, but holy movement that only your hand can accomplish. Let what has taken others decades come forth in my life in divine timing. Let what has been withheld for years be released with peace and confirmation. Let doors open that I did not even know existed, and close the ones that lead to distraction. I do not want every opportunity, I want the right ones. I do not want every connection, I want divine alignment. Speak to my spirit, God, in language deeper than words. Give me discernment that slices through confusion. Give me wisdom that goes beyond intellect. Give me boldness that is anchored in humility. Give me ears that do not just hear but listen. Give me a heart that does not just feel but obeys. And as I lift up this prayer in the quiet of night, I pray for those who are silently battling storms they have never voiced, for those whose smiles hide suffocating sorrow, for the ones who show up for everyone else, but cry themselves to sleep, for the leaders who pour out but have no one to pour into them, for the mothers overwhelmed, the fathers burdened, the young ones questioning their worth. Reach them now, Lord. Let this prayer stretch across time and space and wrap around their hearts like a lifeline. Let there be healing where trauma has lived for too long. Let there be joy where depression has taken root. Let there be light where suicide whispered in the dark. Let there be courage where addiction has chained. Let there be breath where hopelessness choked. Let there be laughter again. Let there be rest again. Let there be peace again. And Father, remind us that we are not meant to carry the weight of the world. You already did that on the cross, so teach us to cast our cares on you not just once, but daily, moment by moment, thought by thought. Teach us to release what we were never meant to control. Let us lay down the heavy yoke of perfection and take on your yoke, which is easy and light. We do not have to have it all figured out. We just have to follow you, step by step, breath by breath. Let your Spirit fill every room in our homes, Lord, from the front door to the back, from the bedroom to the kitchen. Let there be no space untouched by your peace. Anoint our walls with songs of deliverance. Guard our sleep with angels standing watch. Cover our children with dreams of purpose. Cover our elders with strength for the days ahead. Cover our families with unity that no division can fracture. And let revival begin here in the secret place. Let it begin with me. Before a crowd ever gathers, let the fire burn in my bones until I cannot be silent. Let the hunger for righteousness outweigh the craving for recognition. Let purity rise. Let holiness be beautiful again. Let integrity be prized. Let truth be honored. You are doing something deeper than a surface blessing. You are building character, resilience, intimacy. You are forming me into someone who does not just carry an anointing, but stewards it. Someone who does not just shout with passion, but walks with quiet obedience. Someone who knows how to lead and also how to kneel. Someone who does not seek to be seen, but longs to reflect you clearly. So God, strip me of anything that dims your light in me, whether it be pride or people-pleasing, fear or unforgiveness, bitterness or business. Remove it. Cleanse the corners of my heart. Purify my motives. Align my desires with yours. Let my greatest ambition be to love you well and love others deeply. And Lord, for every no I have received, I now say thank you. Thank you for the protection hidden in rejection. Thank you for the redirection wrapped in closed doors. Thank you for the relationships that ended before they could destroy me. Thank you for the hiddenness that developed me before visibility could expose me. I trust your timing, your process, and above all, your heart. And now, Lord, as my soul leans in even closer, I feel you drawing me deeper, not into louder declarations, but into sacred stillness. There is something holy in this hush, something eternal in this intimate exchange between Creator and creation. Here in this moment, stripped of all distractions, I feel your heartbeat aligning mine. You are not rushing me. You are not impatient. You are waiting, as a good father does, for me to bring everything, yes, everything into the light of your presence. So I bring you what I rarely say aloud. I bring you the things I am afraid to name, the places in me where shame has made a home, the regrets I replay at night, the guilt that clings to my thoughts, the secret sorrows that never make it into conversation. And I do not hide anymore. I do not perform. I do not filter. I lay them bare before you, trusting that your mercy is not just a concept, it is a covering. You are not shocked by my humanity. You already saw the worst and still chose to redeem the best in me. So I stop running from you and start running to you. You are not the God who turns away in disgust. You are the one who kneels beside me in the dirt and says, I am still here. And that is enough to quiet every lie. It is enough to break the power of condemnation. Lord, tonight I do not just ask for you to change my circumstances. I ask you to change me. Mold me into someone who loves like you do. Give me a compassion that does not stop at convenience. A patience that is not dependent on being understood. A kindness that flows even when it is not returned. Break down every wall I have built to protect myself from pain. And instead, build within me a well that overflows with grace. Help me to forgive, even when the apology never comes, even when the wound is still tender, even when the betrayal still echoes. Remind me that forgiveness is not excusing the hurt, but releasing its hold. It is not weakness, it is warfare. It is how chains are broken. It is how hearts are healed. Teach me to live free, not just in appearance, but in the deep, inner corridors of my soul. God, teach me to be led, not driven, not pushed by pressure or expectations, but drawn by your Spirit. Teach me to live from a place of rest, not striving. Let me wake each morning with the peace that only comes from knowing I am not behind, I am held. I am not late, I am led. I am not forgotten, I am engraved on the palm of your hand. And in this holy hour, I lift up every unspoken prayer of the saints around the world. The cries that never make it to platforms, but shake the heavens in secret. The midnight worshipers, the silent intercessors, the weary mothers, the watchful fathers, the broken leaders, the lonely elders, those who grieve without language, those who believe without evidence. Let your Spirit flood them now. Let revival erupt in living rooms, in bedrooms, in cars parked in desperation. Let the Spirit of God fall where no stage has ever stood. I declare a breaking yes, a breaking of generational cycles. I stand in the gap for those who have never known freedom, and I speak liberty into their bloodlines. What held them will not hold me. Shame them will not mark me. What devoured them will not devour my children. I speak a new pattern of faith, of peace, of restoration, of wholeness, not just for me, but for every generation after me. And Lord, let me not forget the power of your presence. Let me never grow too familiar, too casual, too comfortable with you. Let my wonder remain. Let the awe return. Let my spirit tremble again at the sound of your whisper. Let my prayers never become routine, but remain rivers of fire flowing from the depths of my heart. You are not a faraway God, I feel you right here. Even now, I feel you sitting with me in the dark. Not because you need light to see, but because you are the light. You illumine the places I thought would stay hidden forever. You expose only to heal. You shake only to secure. You tear down only to rebuild. So I trust you in the trembling. I trust you in the unraveling. I trust you even when I cannot trace you, because you have never let me go. Not when I wandered, not when I failed, not when I shut everyone out, not when I doubted you. You stayed. You stood in the hallway of my silence and waited for the day I would open the door again. And tonight, that door is wide open. Enter, Lord. Dwell, not just visit, but remain. Don't just change the furniture, renovate the foundation. Make me new from the inside out. Let your fire consume everything that hinders love. Let your voice silence every competing noise. Let your truth override every lie I have ever believed. And as this prayer continues, let it be a declaration written into the fabric of the atmosphere. Let the winds carry it to the nations. Let it echo through the spiritual realm as a banner of surrender and a trumpet of faith. Let it shake the chains off someone who does not even know I am praying for them. Let it pierce the veil of hopelessness and plant seeds of revival where drought has been long. God, I want to walk so close with you that even my shadow brings healing, that my presence carries peace, that my steps mark territories with promise, not because of my strength, but because I am fully yielded, fully surrendered, fully yours. Strip me of titles, positions, ego, anything that distracts from your glory. Let the only name exalted be yours. Let my life be a mirror. Let my words be oil. Let my hands carry blessing. Let my eyes see prophetically. Let my ears discern truth from noise. Let my heart beat with intercession. Let me be one who never stops seeking, never stops kneeling, never stops believing that you are still doing the impossible, that miracles are not memories, they are manifestations, that healing is not a rumor, it is a reality, that provision is not luck, it is covenant, that breakthrough is not theory, it is here, now, alive in this very prayer. And Lord, while the world rushes to build platforms, let me build altars. While others chase followers, let me chase you. While many pursue influence, let me pursue intimacy. Let me be found in the secret place more than on stages. Let my authority come from hours with you, not applause from men. Let me carry the scent of consecration. Make me a resting place for your spirit. Make my home a house of prayer. Make my habits holy. Make my hunger insatiable for your word. I do not want to survive off of yesterday's manna. I want fresh bread from heaven each day. Feed me with revelation. Feed me with conviction. Feed me with the weight of your presence until my flesh yields and my spirit roars. This hour is not random. You chose this moment to speak, and I answer fully awake, fully alive, fully aligned. I do not need the sun to rise to believe that light is coming. I already see it in my spirit. I already feel the chains loosening. I already hear the sound of rain in the distance, the rain of answered prayers, of promises fulfilled, of restoration rolling in like a tide. So I will stay here as long as you call me. I will linger. I will press in. I will cry out, because something is happening. Something is being birthed, and I will not miss it. And even now, Lord, as I remain in this posture of surrender, I sense that this moment is more than just a fleeting night of prayer. It is a spiritual threshold, a doorway into deeper waters, a place of divine exchange where weariness turns into strength, fear transforms into boldness, and waiting is no longer a wait, but a womb birthing something eternal. You are drawing me past surface-level faith, calling me into the depths where trust is not dependent on sight, but rooted in knowing that you alone are God. So I come, not with perfect prayers, but with honest hunger. I do not have all the words, but I have this fire in my bones that refuses to die out. I bring you my raw, unedited heart, the part of me that still wonders if I am truly seen, truly chosen, truly called for more. And you meet me there not with rebuke, but with reassurance, not with distance, but with delight. You remind me that is not the strong you call, but the surrendered, not the flawless, but the faithful, not the impressive, but the intimate, God, ignite a holy fire in me that no disappointment can quench. Let it burn away apathy. Let it burn through distractions. Let it consume everything I have used to numb the H of destiny delayed. Awaken in me the purity of first love, the wonder I had when I first heard your voice, when your name made my soul tremble, when all I wanted was to sit at your feet and listen. Strip away the formulas, the noise, the performative religion. I do not want religion, I want revival. I want encounter. I want to live in the reality of your presence, not just visit it on special days. I want my life to be the altar where your glory rests, a place you are pleased to dwell. So whatever it takes, Lord, do it, even if it costs me comfort. Even if it confronts everything I thought I needed. I would rather be in the wilderness with you than in the palace without you. And God, I ask you to rewire my thinking. Rewire every thought pattern formed by fear. Undo the programming of trauma and shame. Rewrite the narratives I have believed since childhood. The lies that whispered I would never be enough. The labels placed on me by wounded people. The ceilings that culture and comparison built above me. Tear them down. Father, let your truth speak louder. Let your love echo deeper. Let your word rebuild me from the inside out. Remind me again of what you spoke in the secret. Bring back to memory the promises I have let slip away. The visions I tucked away because I did not think I was worthy to carry them. But you do not choose the equipped, you equip the chosen. You do not call the qualified, you qualify the called. And so, with trembling hands and an obedient heart, I pick those dreams back up again. I dust off the mantle. I say yes again. Yes. Even when I am afraid. Yes. Even when I do not see the full picture. Yes. Even when I do not know how you will do it. Because I do not need to know how, I just need to know you. And you have never failed me. Not once. Lord, breathe on my creativity. Breathe on the gifts you have placed in me. Let the writer rise. Let the teacher rise. Let the builder rise. Let the nurturer, the intercessor, the artist, the entrepreneur, the leader rise. Let every gift reflect your glory, not mine. Let every assignment carry heaven's fingerprint. Let my work become worship, and my obedience become legacy. And for every open door have been praying for, I also pray for the character to walk through it. Give me integrity that outlasts opportunity. Give me humility that honors others. Give me discernment to know what is of you and what is distraction dressed in blessing. Teach me to steward increase, well, not hoarding, not boasting but pouring back into the kingdom you have entrusted me to serve. And Lord, teach me how to wait well, not passively, not bitterly, but with joyful expectation. Let my waiting be worship. Let my silence be filled with songs. Let my stillness become a sanctuary where you are magnified above my questions. Help me to remember that delay is not denial. It is the rhythm of your mercy, the choreography of grace, holding back what I asked for until I am ready to carry it without it crushing me. Remind me that a closed door is often protection, that an unanswered prayer can be a gift in disguise, that some battles are not mine to fight. Some battles are won on my knees before they ever reach my hands. So I bow again, I kneel again, not in defeat but in declaration. You are God, I am yours, and that is enough. Lord, I also bring you the tension I have carried in my relationships. You see the strain, the misunderstanding, the silent hurts, the words left unsaid, the bridges burned by pride. Heal what I cannot fix, rebuild what I no longer have the strength to try. Soften the hearts of those I have loved and lost. Bring reconciliation where there has been distance. Bring peace where there has been passive resentment. Help me to release offense so bitterness does not become my companion. And for those relationships you have allowed to end, give me closure even without conversation. Give me peace even without explanation. I want to hold grudges. I want to carry ghosts. I want to keep trying to resurrect what you have already buried. Help me to honor the past without being chained to it. To learn from what hurt without living in it. To forgive fully, even if forgetting is not possible. Lord, I ask for joy, not circumstantial happiness, but the unshakable kind that dances in the dark, that worships in the valley, that sings when there is no reason except you. Teach me to laugh again, to breathe deeply, to slow down and notice the beauty woven into everyday things. Let me not be so focused on the breakthrough that I miss the blessings already blooming around me. Thank you for every answered prayer. I almost forgot to thank you for the breath in my lungs, the roof over my head, the moments you shielded me from what I will never know, the provision that came just in time, the friend who called right when I was breaking, the quiet miracles that never made headlines, but marked my life forever. You are a God of detail. Nothing in my story has escaped your hand, not the detours, not the dead ends, not even the disasters. You are weaving them all into something glorious, something redemptive, something eternal. And so I wait not in frustration, but in faith. Let this hour, this holy hour between 2am and 3am not be the end of something, but the beginning. Let this be the moment I remember for the rest of my life, as the time heaven touched earth and everything began to shift. Let this be the hour the tide turned, the chains snapped, the atmosphere shifted, the angels were dispatched, the promises awakened. Let it be the hour my name was spoken in heaven's courts with favor, the hour my legacy was rewritten, the hour curses were broken off my bloodline, the hour peace returned like a flood, the hour the war in the spirit turned in my favor. Let this be the hour that sets the tone for the rest of my days, where I live from the overflow of what you did in the silence. And so I stay here, Lord. For as long as you linger, I will not rush. I will not retreat. I will not forget. I will mark this place in the Spirit. I will return here again and again, not out of routine, but out of reverence, because this is holy ground. This is the birthing room of destiny. And you, my Father, are here. And as I remain bowed before you in spirit, I realize now this place of surrender is not weakness. It is where I am made whole. This is where my deepest longings and your divine promises collide. This is where time seems to pause and eternity breathes over the brokenness of now. Every tear that falls is seen. Every whisper that trembles off my lips is recorded. And every heartbeat that reaches for you is embraced by arms that never let go. God, I do not just want to encounter you. I want to become a place where you dwell. Let my very life be a sanctuary. Let my thoughts be incense rising. Let my choices reflect the weight of your glory resting on me. Teach me to carry you into every space I enter, not by force, but by presence. Let others sense something different, not because of who I am, but because of whose I am. Make me brave enough to be gentle, strong enough to be still, bold enough to be quiet when others clamor for noise. In a world screaming for attention, let me be one who listens. In a culture chasing speed, teach me the value of your pace. And when the voices around me rise in chaos, train my soul to find peace in your whisper. Lord, I ask you now to deepen my hunger, not just for blessings, but for you. I do not want to fall in love with the things of God more than I love the God of all things. Let my first pursuit be your face, not your hand. Let my heart be drawn, not driven. Let the fire you started in me never grow dim, not even when the world tries to pour water on it with criticism, comparison, or distraction. And Father, I lift up the places in my heart that still struggle to trust. You know them well, the places that flinch at intimacy, the rooms I keep locked because of old wounds. You knock even there, so come in, gently, but completely. Speak truth where lies have festered. Bring light into the crevices where fear still hides. I want to be whole, not just healed enough to function, but healed enough to flourish. I ask now for divine appointments, encounters that I could never orchestrate, conversations led by your spirit, people placed in my path who carry the next key. Unexpected moments where I recognize that only you could have aligned the pieces. Let my days be marked by supernatural alignment, not by human effort. Let grace flow like a current I no longer fight, but finally trust. Let my obedience be immediate, not delayed, not reasoned away, not weighed against convenience. Teach me that delayed obedience is disobedience. Help me to trust that when you speak, it is not to burden me, but to bless me. Your commands are not cages, they are wings. And when I obey, I soar. Help me to release control not once, but daily, because surrender is not an event, it is a lifestyle. It is the way of those who walk closely with you. And I want to walk so closely that even the smallest tug on my heart gets my attention. I want to be that tender to your leading, that aware of your presence, that responsive to your movement. And now, Lord, I intercede for those who are in their own midnight moments. For the one on the hospital bed right now, staring at the ceiling, wondering if healing will ever come. Let your spirit wrap around them, speak to every cell, every system, every breath. Let peace flood that room. Let miracles not be delayed. For the one lying awake with anxiety pounding like waves on their chest, unable to quiet the racing thoughts, be the stillness in their storm. Be the anchor when their mind spirals. Break the cycle. Let your word become louder than their fear. Let your love override the narrative of panic. For the one who feels abandoned by everyone they trusted, show them they were never abandoned by you. Draw near in a way that no human hug could match. Be the father to the fatherless, the faithful friend to the lonely. Let them feel seen, chosen, and cherished even now. For the young one questioning their purpose, comparing their path, wondering if they matter, speak destiny over them. Shatter the mirrors of comparison. Replace their confusion with calling. Speak dreams into their nights and purpose into their steps. And for the one who is ready to give up, who planned that tonight would be their last, interrupt them. Lord, break in like only you can. Cancel every assignment of death. Speak life with such force that it snatches them back from the edge. Let them know they are not too far gone, that there is still purpose in their pain, that you still have more for them. God, expand my capacity to love, to serve, to carry burdens that are not my own, not out of duty, but out of divine compassion. Let my intercession become instinct. Let prayer rise from my spirit like breathing. Let my love look like something tangible, sacrificial, real. And as I remain in this sacred hour, I am reminded that this place, prayer, is not isolated. It is connected to every promise, every prophecy, every piece of purpose you have spoken over my life. Each time I kneel, I am drawing closer to fulfillment. Each cry, each whisper, each surrender is pulling heaven down into earth, promise into reality, hope into motion. I know now why you woke me. It was not just to talk. It was to transform. Not just to listen, but to unlock. Something eternal is being birthed right now. I can feel it pressing against the walls of my spirit. And I welcome the labor. I welcome the stretching. I welcome the pain of becoming. Let me not despise the waiting room. It is sacred. It is where you refine. It is where you reveal. It is where the noise dies down and the truth rises up. And the truth is this: you are good. Always. Even when I do not understand. Even when the pain does not lift. Even when the answer feels far away. You are good, and your mercy endures forever. So I will not measure your faithfulness by what I see in front of me. I will measure it by what I know to be true. You are the same yesterday, today, and forever. You are not a man that you should lie. You are not swayed by emotion. You are constant. You are holy. You are here. And here, in this moment, I reaffirm every yes I have ever given you. I silence the voice of doubt. I stand in the river of grace that never runs dry. I drink deep of your presence. I soak in the peace that passes understanding. I wrap myself in the confidence that I am yours, and that is my greatest strength. So let the heavens record this moment. Let every principality take notice. Let angels bear witness. A son, a daughter, has risen in faith again. A heart has returned. A flame has been reignited. And what was once dormant is now awakening with power. And now, Lord, as my spirit stands taller in the silence of surrender, I feel you clothing me with new strength. not the strength that comes from striving, but the strength that comes from resting in you. I no longer carry the weight of having to fix everything. I no longer wear the mask of composure to hide my trembling, because in this place of holy communion, I finally understand it was never about perfection. It was always about presence. Yours, mine, merged, undivided. You have not called me to survive this life numb. You have called me to live it awake, awake to wonder, awake to grace, awake to every divine appointment, every sacred interruption. Let nothing numb me again, not fear disguised as logic, not fatigue wrapped in distraction, not pain masquerading as bitterness. I do not want to miss one whisper from heaven because I was busy to thee, trying to protect myself from being vulnerable again. You, O God, are my hiding place, but not my prison. You do not hide me to isolate me. You hide me to prepare me, to form me, to protect the oil you have placed inside me until the appointed time. And in this hiding, I have not been forgotten. I have been reserved, not rejected but refined, not delayed but destined. You are the God of intentional timing. So I break agreement with every lie that says I am behind, every spirit that tries to rush me into premature exposure, every voice that tempts me to trade intimacy for visibility. I will not put my hands on what you are still shaping in secret. I will not force open what you have kept closed for my own good. I will wait not with bitterness, but with burning faith. Let me be more rooted than I am visible. Let my roots run deep before my name is ever known. I do not want to grow fast, I want to grow well. I want to be the tree planted by streams of water, whose leaves do not wither, who bears fruit in season, not just fruit that impresses, but fruit that lasts, that nourishes, that multiplies, that heals others because it came from a place of real encounter. And now I ask you, Lord, to anoint every word I speak moving forward. Let my language become a stream of healing. Let my voice break chains, not bones. Let my tone carry restoration. May the way I speak in private and public reflect the fire you have rekindled in this hour. Let no bitterness corrupt my sound. Let no pride taint my delivery. Let my mouth become a river of encouragement, truth, power, and peace. I speak over my future now, not out of desperation, but dominion. I speak to the years ahead and I say, you will be full of glory. You will be soaked in presence. You will be marked by obedience. You will be fruitful not for applause, but for the kingdom. My future will not echo the pain of my past. It will not repeat cycles of fear. It will not inherit the chaos that once bound my bloodline. I speak over my home. You will be a sanctuary. You will not host anxiety or strife. You will be a place where laughter lives and where worship rises freely. Every room will be soaked in peace. Every doorway marked with prayer. The atmosphere will testify to heaven's presence. Let angels stand guard. Let your spirit take residence. Let generational blessings take root and grow from this place forward. I speak over my mind. You will be renewed daily. You will not replay trauma. You will not harbor confusion. You will think with clarity, courage, and creativity. I break agreement with torment. I reject every spirit of anxiety. I renounce every oppressive thought pattern. Command divine order in the realm of my thoughts. I receive the mind of Christ not in theory, but in the daily discipline of trust and truth. I speak over my hands. You will build, not break. You will create, not consume. You will serve with joy, not from obligation. You will heal, not harm. Let what these hands touch prosper in the will of God. Let them carry responsibility with reverence. Let them be extended in generosity and lifted in worship. I speak over my voice. You will no longer be silenced by shame. You will not echo the world's confusion. You will declare heaven's clarity. You will not gossip. You will not curse your own future. You will speak with wisdom. You will declare the word of God boldly. You will shift atmospheres. I speak over my feet. You will not walk in circles anymore. You will not wander aimlessly. You will not go where favor has not gone before you. You will tread upon the ground given by God. You will walk in divine timing. Every step will be ordered. Every path straightened. You will walk into rooms prepared in advance by divine hands. And Lord, I pause in awe of what you are doing, not just around me, but within me. I feel the foundation of my faith being strengthened. I feel the walls that once kept you out collapsing. I feel the softness of surrender replacing the hardness of fear. I feel the unfamiliar weight of peace settling over me. Not fleeting, not fragile, but firm and unmovable. This peace is not the absence of battle, it is the assurance of victory. It is the posture of knowing you fight for me. You go before me. You are my rear guard. You hedge me in and you hem me close. There is no part of my journey untouched by your hand. You are the God who leads with light and covers with fire. And even when I do not understand your methods, I will trust your nature, for you are always good, always near, always faithful. And Lord, in the stillness of this moment, I ask you to burn away any idols I have built in my heart, subtle or obvious, whether it is control or comfort, or the approval of people, or the addiction to performance, or the obsession with outcomes. Let them fall. Let them be shattered. Let me have no God before you, not even the good things that became ultimate things. Purify me until I desire only you, not the ministry, not the breakthrough, not the platform, not the reward, but you. Because if I gain everything I asked for, but lose the nearness of your voice, I have gained nothing at all. If the promises are fulfilled, but your presence fades, then what was the point? But if all I ever get is more of you, then I have received the highest treasure there is. So, Father, give me a heart that chooses presence over performance, depth over display, obedience over outcomes, and communion over control. Let me not chase what glitters. Let me pursue what is eternal. Let the unseen moments outweigh the visible victories. Let the secret history between us be richer than the story told to the world. I want to live as one who has been with you. Let it be evident, not by how loud I shout, but by how deeply I love. Not by how many follow me, but by how well I follow you. And even now, Lord, as the horizon of dawn begins to touch the edges of the night. I feel something irreversible has shifted in the spirit. This was no ordinary moment. This was consecration. This was realignment. This was the undoing of years of striving, and the beginning of walking in step with you, not behind you in shame, not ahead of you in impatience, but beside you, hand in hand, breath in breath. And with this clarity comes responsibility. I no longer want to merely receive from you. I want to represent you, not with empty words, not with hollow religion, but with a life poured out, a life that shows the fruit of intimacy. Let my faith not just be loud in church, but evident in how I forgive, how I wait, how I sacrifice. Let holiness be seen not only in my convictions, but in how I love the unlovable, bless those who curse me, and serve without applause. I ask you, Father, to teach me the discipline of consistency, not performance, but devotion. Teach me to show up in the quiet, to pray when it is not poetic, to fast when no one's watching, to remain when it would be easier to retreat. Let my private obedience overflow into public authority. Let me live what I declare. Father, awaken in me the heart of an intercessor, not just someone who prays occasionally, but someone who carries burdens until they break. Give me tears for the broken. Give me sleepless nights for nations. Give me the groan of the Spirit when words are not enough. Let the weight of others' pain not paralyze me, but push me to my knees. Let me be one who stands in the gap when others fall through the cracks. Teach me to see beyond myself, break the lens of self-centeredness. Remove the veil that makes me blind to suffering unless it touches me directly. Give me your eyes, Lord, eyes that notice the overlooked, that weep for injustice, that do not turn away when it is uncomfortable. Let my hands reach further. Let my heart grow wider. Let my love run deeper. God, may my joy not be dependent on outcome, but on revelation, on the unchanging truth that you are with me, in me, for me, whether the storm rages or the sea stills. Let my anchor hold. Let joy bubble up like a river beneath the surface, quiet, strong, and relentless. Let the joy of the Lord be more than a phrase. It is my strength, my resistance against despair, my defiance against darkness. Let this joy spill over into every part of my life, into the tone I use with those closest to me, into the patience I show when things do not go as planned, into the gratitude I express even when the days feel ordinary. Let joy be a protest against fear, a melody in the midst of chaos, a song I never stop singing, even if it is just between me and you. And now, Father, I bring you the hidden dreams, the ones I have dared not speak aloud, the ones I shelved because they seemed too big, too costly, too fragile to hope for again. But you planted them, and you do not waste seeds. So I surrender these dreams not as ultimatums, but as offerings. Do with them what you will. Breathe on them again if they still serve your purpose, or prune them if they are not for this season. Either way, I trust your hand. I ask you to awaken vision again, clearer, purer, holier than before. Vision not birthed in comparison or competition, but in communion. Show me the blueprint of heaven for my life. Show me how to build according to your design, not man's expectation. Let every decision I make be filtered through the lens of eternity. Let every step be rooted in purpose. I do not want to chase good ideas. I want to walk in God-ordained direction. Even if that direction leads me into unfamiliar terrain. Even if it costs more than I thought. Even if I have to walk alone. Let me never trade calling for comfort. Let me never exchange destiny for distraction. Give me a spine of steel and a heart of flesh. Make me bold in battle and soft in spirit, relentless in pursuit, yet yielded in posture. And Lord, as I look to what lies ahead, I ask you to redeem the time, the seasons I wasted in fear, the years lost to shame, the days drowned in self-doubt. You are the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. So I stand on that promise now. Let acceleration come not as a reward, but as a witness, not for glory, but for grace. Let the next 5 years carry the weight of what was withheld for 10. Let doors open that no man can shut. Let favor go before me not to exalt me, but to elevate your name through my life. And when the doors swing wide, let my character walk through before my gifting ever does. Let my integrity precede my influence. Let your presence be more noticeable than my personality. Lord, I pray now over every gift you have placed inside of me. Not one was given by accident. Not one is too small. Let none lie dormant. Wake them. Stretch them. Sanctify them. Give me discipline to develop them. Give me mentors to shape them. Give me courage to release them in due season. And if I ever begin to idolize the gift more than the giver, remind me quickly, kindly, but clearly. I pray over my physical body too. Lord, let every cell align with heaven's design. Let healing flow like water into every organ, every bone, every function. Let strength rise in my muscles, breath in my lungs, clarity in my mind. I renounce the lies that say this body is weak, broken, or failing. I receive your promise of health not for vanity, but for victory, not to impress, but to endure. Let me run the race set before me with endurance and energy renewed daily. And I lift up those whose bodies are weary from chronic pain. Silent battles. Invisible illnesses. Let your healing come in waves. Let faith rise even when answers are slow. Let joy live even when symptoms stay. And where you do not heal yet, give supernatural peace. Give strength to stand. Give a double portion of grace. God, even now, I sense the stirring of revival, not just in churches, but in kitchens, in late-night Uber rides, in locker rooms, in prisons, in hospital beds, in bedrooms like mine. Let revival be more than a movement. Let it be a holy infection that spreads from one yielded heart to another. Let it jump from these prayers into households, into cities, into cultures. Revive purity. Revive honor. Revive truth. Revive hunger for righteousness. Let the next generation rise not distracted by fame, but ignited by purpose. Let the sound of heaven drown out the noise of culture. Let boldness replace timidity. Let holiness become beautiful again. Let the glory of the Lord cover the earth like waters cover the sea. I declare over my generation, we will not sleep through our assignment. We will not lose our fire. We will not compromise truth for applause. We will not dilute the gospel. We will not bow to idols. We will not stay silent. We will rise with love, with truth, with anointing, with wisdom. And I, Lord, say yes again, not because I understand it all, but because I trust you in it all. So here I am, Lord, still here, heart open, soul yielded, spirit burning. I am not rushing out of this moment. I know too well that what you deposit in stillness cannot be replicated in noise. What you whisper in the quiet will carry me through storms. What you seal in this sacred hour will speak louder than any doubt that may try to return. So I stay, not because I am desperate, but because I am devoted. This is not about getting something from you. This is about becoming someone with you. And as I sit in this posture of becoming, I ask you to sharpen my discernment. Give me eyes to see what is of you and what is simply dressed in religious camouflage. Teach me to recognize the counterfeit not by obsession with darkness, but by deep familiarity with the light. Let me not be swayed by charisma if it lacks character. Let me not chase voices over your voice. Let me test everything by your spirit, by your word, and by the fruit it produces. Let me never settle for partial truth. Let me hunger for the whole counsel of God, even when it confronts me, even when it calls me to higher standards, even when it demands dying to self. Your truth is not a suggestion, it is a sword, and I choose to be pierced by it rather than pacified by comfort. Lord, strengthen my backbone. In a world that bends for popularity, let me stand for purity. In a time when truth is seen as offensive, let me carry with both conviction and compassion. Let me not be known for what I am against, but for who I reflect. Let me carry the fragrance of Christ so authentically that I do not need to announce I am yours. My life will already reveal it. Give me courage to be misunderstood, to obey when it does not make sense, to follow you into places that do not come with applause or platform. Give me the holy tenacity to keep going when I feel unseen, because I know that nothing is hidden from you. Not one act of obedience, not one tear shed in secret. You see it all, and you reward what is done for your eyes alone. Let me fall in love with obscurity, if that is where you are. Let me remain unknown, if that protects the purity of what we share. But if you do choose to elevate me, if you choose to make my name known, guard my heart from pride. Let my soul be more impressed with your presence than any praise man could give. Let success never become my identity. Let intimacy always be my aim. And now, God, I lift up every unspoken prayer of the people connected to my life. Those who have cried in silence, those whose faith is flickering like a candle in the wind, those who feel too far gone, too disqualified, too damaged. Whisper to them tonight. Let this moment between you and me overflow into their lives. Let the healing in this room extend to their pain. Let the peace I feel now become their portion. I pray for every parent losing sleep over a wandering child, for every spouse quietly enduring heartbreak, for every young person wrestling with identity, for every leader carrying more than they can say, for every weary soul who has been faithful with little and is still waiting for increase. Strengthen them, God. Let them know they are seen, that they are held, that you are closer than they think. And I ask now for divine courage, not just to believe, but to become the version of me that exists in your mind, the one not bound by insecurity, not silenced by shame, not shackled by cycles. Help me become who you dreamed I would be when you knit me together in secret, before any labels, before any failures, before any wounds, before the world had a chance to define me. You already had. So return me to that blueprint, God. Realign me to that original design. Restore what life has tried to steal. Reclaim what trauma buried. Let the ashes of yesterday become the oil of today. Let every loss become seed. Let every heartbreak become compassion. Let every wilderness become a well. You waste nothing, Lord. And I give you permission to redeem everything. Break every agreement I made with fear, spoken or unspoken. I renounce it. I sever it. I release it. Fear will no longer partner with my decisions. Anxiety will no longer be the narrator of my thoughts. I choose faith. Even when the path is hidden, I choose hope. Even when the evidence is lacking, I choose love. Even when bitterness begs to return. And I choose rest, not just physical rest, but soul rest. I reject the lie that I must always hustle, always produce, always prove my worth. I silence the inner critic and welcome the inner comforter. I trust that I am loved before I perform, that I am enough because you are more than enough. Let your rhythm of grace override the pressure of performance. In this new day, I will walk differently, not because I have changed myself, but because I have been changed by you. Not because I mustered up willpower, but because I surrendered to your power. And in that surrender, I found strength, not the kind that flexes in pride, but the kind that kneels in gratitude. Let everything I touch today be touched first by prayer. Let every interaction be bathed in your spirit. Let divine sensitivity guide my responses. Let interruptions become invitations. Let my life preach a gospel that does not need a microphone. Let my integrity speak louder than my words. Let my peace testify louder than my opinions. Let me lead not from control, but from example. Let me parent not from fear, but from wisdom. Let me love not from emotion, but from covenant. Let me live today not looking backward in regret or forward in anxiety, but fully present with you in this moment. Because you are not just the God of my future, you are the God of right now. So take the whole of me, not just the parts I understand, not just the places I have polished, but the mess, the H, the questions, the parts still bleeding, the parts still becoming. You want all of me not for destruction, but for destiny. You are not afraid of my unfinished places. You are the potter, and I am still the clay. Shape me, Lord, again and again, until my responses sound like yours, until my posture mirrors your mercy, until my motives are purified by fire, until the only thing I want more than breakthrough is you. You are the breakthrough. You are the reward. You are the goal. and for the rest of my life, I will answer every call you whisper with one resounding word. Yes. Yes. Lord, not the kind of yes spoken from fear or obligation, but the kind of yes that rises from revelation. A yes birthed in love, sealed in trust, and anchored in truth. The kind of yes that does not need all the answers, that does not demand clarity before obedience, that walks forward even when the way is dim, because it knows the one who holds the lamp. Yes to becoming more than what this world expects of me. Yes to laying down the need to be understood by others in exchange for being fully known by you. Yes to divine delays and holy redirections. Yes to the uncomfortable growth that comes from walking on water. Yes to stretching beyond my preferences, my history, and my pain. Lord, I am not the same person who began this prayer. Something has shifted in me, not just an emotional stirring, but a spiritual restructuring, a deep work, a holy undoing. You have unraveled the false identities I wore like armor. You have dismantled the lies I unknowingly built my logic around. You have brought me face to face with the truth, that you are all I need, and when I have you, I lack nothing. So here, in this tender place, I give you my future again, not as a fearful sacrifice, but as a joyful return. It always belonged to you. You wrote it long before I ever worried over it. You saw every day before one of them came to pass. My future is not floating in uncertainty. It is planted firmly in your sovereignty. I release every backup plan, every idol of security, every flesh-born escape hatch. I burn the boats behind me and step fully into the waters of faith, knowing you will hold me. You will catch me, and even if I sink, you will stretch out your hand and lift me again. You do not promise ease, but you promise presence. And your presence is more than enough. I ask you now to stretch my capacity to receive. I do not want to settle for scraps when you have prepared a feast. I do not want to camp in survival when you have called me into overflow. Expand my heart to carry more of your spirit. Expand my vision to recognize more of your movement. Expand my expectations to believe for more than what history has taught me is possible. Lord, uproot the lie that I am too broken, too late, too much, or not enough. I am exactly who you called on purpose, in your timing, with every scar, every story, every season accounted for. You waste nothing, not even my worst moments. You turn graves into gardens. You turn pasts into platforms. You turn weeping into weapons of worship. Let every scar I carry become a testimony, not for sympathy, but for strength. Let my story become a map for someone else to find you. Let my healing spark healing in others. Let my freedom become a trumpet that announces what is possible when a life is surrendered. And as I begin to see the light of morning reaching through the night, I recognize that this is not the end of a prayer. It is the continuation of a life fully devoted to you. The prayer never really ends, because the communion never really stops. You are with me in every breath, in every step, in every glance, in every word. The sacred has spilled over into the ordinary, and nothing will ever feel mundane again. Let me walk into today with a heart that remembers. Let me live like someone who has just touched heaven. The residue of this encounter linger on my face like it did with Moses. Let those who cross paths with me sense something different, not religion, not self-righteousness, but the radiant, humble evidence of time spent with you. Let me lead with peace, respond with gentleness, serve with excellence, love with patience, and let me return to this secret place again and again, not out of duty, but because I can no longer breathe properly without your presence. Let this moment mark the beginning of a new rhythm, a holy rhythm, a cadence of heaven that beats inside my soul and moves me through each day with purpose and power. Let my schedule bow to your voice. Let my priorities shift in light of your whispers. Let my desires bend under the weight of your glory. May my mornings start with stillness, not scrolling. May my nights end in gratitude, not exhaustion. May my hours be interrupted by spontaneous worship. May my decisions be filtered through obedience, not opportunity. May my joy not come from results, but from abiding. May my strength not come from sleep alone, but from surrender. May my legacy not be how much I did, but how well I loved you. And Father, I pray now for those whose fire is dim, whose hearts have grown cold, those who've been burned by church, disappointed by life, or crushed by unanswered prayers. I stand in the gap for them and ask, reignite, rebuild, renew. You are the God who breathes life into dry bones, who calls things that are not as though they are, who brings beauty from ashes, even when the fire was unfair. Draw them in, Lord. Let this prayer become a wave that crashes over their doubts and washes them back to your feet. Let them encounter the you that I have just encountered, not a God of rules, but a Father of restoration, not a distant deity, but an ever-present help. Let this be the hour when prodigals start walking home, not knowing why their feet move, but knowing their spirit longs for something more. And I thank you now not just for what you have done, but for what you are doing, the things I do not see, the alignments taking shape behind the veil, the divine setups I will walk into in weeks to come, wondering how they came to be. But you will smile, because you were orchestrating it all during this very hour. So let this sacred time be recorded in heaven. Let it be sealed. Let it be remembered not just as a moment of emotional stirring, but as a point of no return, a pivot, a crossing, the hour when old chains fell and new wine poured, the hour when you reminded me that I was never alone, never disqualified, never too far gone. You called. I answered. You knocked. I opened. You spoke. I listened. You came close. And now I will never be the same. And now that I have tasted this stillness, this glory that descends when everything else quiets, I never want to lose it. Not because I fear it fading, but because I have finally discovered what it means to abide. You did not invite me into this hour for a fleeting, emotional encounter. You invited me into habitation, into union, into a rhythm where the veil is always lifted, and I live fully awake to your nearness. So help me not to leave this moment unchanged. Let this not become another spiritual high that fades with the sunrise. Let this be the foundation of a new way of being. Let it rewire how I pray, how I think, how I love, how I wait. Let the imprint of this hour remain, even in the noise of midday and the fatigue of evening. Let what you whispered in the dark become the anthem I carry into the light. God, I ask now for a holy resilience, the kind of endurance that does not crumble when answers delay, the kind of grit that does not retreat when battles rage. I do not want shallow roots. I want roots that run deep through drought, through storms, through seasons of silence. Let me not be moved by headlines, trends, or threats. Let me be grounded in the eternal, anchored in truth, fortified by grace. Fortify my faith, Lord, not the kind that flickers in comfort, but the kind that blazes in adversity. The faith that still sings in the fire. The faith that declares, even in the lion's den, that you are sovereign. The faith that walks into uncertainty with unshakable peace, knowing that your promises never return void. Strengthen the muscles of my spirit through every resistance. Let adversity not harden me, but refine me. Let every pressure press me deeper into you. And as you strengthen me, strengthen my love. Make it fierce. Make it holy. Make it impossible to ignore. Let my love for people not be fragile or selective. Let it be unconditional. Let it cost me something. Let it be patient when offense would be easier. Let it be bold when silence would feel safer. Let me love like you love without keeping score, without fear of loss, without self-preservation. Teach me to forgive quickly, to release freely, to remember mercy. Break the cycle of offense before it becomes a prison. Show me how to lay down every right to hold a grudge and pick up the cross instead. Remind me that forgiveness is not just a command, it is the pathway to freedom. And I choose it again and again, no matter how many times the wound reopens. Because healing is more important than being right. I pray for my heart now, God. Guard it. Shape it. Enlarge it. Let it not grow cold in a world that rewards indifference. Let it remain tender, broken, but not bitter. Wounded, but not cynical. Soft enough to cry when others weep. Strong enough to speak life when others curse. Give me a heart that still believes in miracles, even when logic scoffs. A heart that sees the best in people, even when it is hidden under layers of pain. And for the ones you have called me to love in this life, my family, my friends, my neighbors, even my enemies, bless them. Stretch them. Encounter them. Let my presence be a doorway through which they glimpse you. Let my words plant seeds of eternity. Let my posture point toward heaven. Let my silence be wise. My listening be deep, and my speech be soaked in grace. God, help me not to just speak about breakthrough, but to live as one who has walked through it. Let my habits shift. Let my atmosphere shift. Let my expectations shift. No more rehearsing defeat. No more tiptoeing around bold prayers. No more minimizing what you have promised. I will speak with the authority you have given. I will prophesy your word, not just over my life, but over every place you have assigned me to influence. I speak peace into chaos. I speak light into confusion. I speak healing into every body, mind, and memory that has been fractured. I speak strength into the weary places. I speak order where there has been disorder. I speak clarity where fog has reigned. I speak Jesus into the middle of it all. You are the answer, Jesus. You always have been. You are the calm in the courtroom. You are the stillness in the diagnosis. You are the fourth man in the fire. You are the shepherd in the valley. You are the resurrection at the tomb. You are the manna in the wilderness. You are the way when there seems to be none. And now, Father, I ask for wisdom, the wisdom that sees through pretense, that pierces through deception, that chooses the narrow road, that waits in silence rather than speaking prematurely, the wisdom that listens more than it defends, that discerns spirits, seasons, and strategies. Give me wisdom not to win arguments, but to win souls, not to look brilliant, but to live fruitfully. I do not want to react, I want to respond, with the cadence of heaven, with the posture of peace, with the strategy of the Spirit. Teach me how to slow down and hear your still, small voice when everything around me screams for urgency. Show me how to live in rhythm with you, and I ask you to cultivate in me a spirit of gratitude that outlives every circumstance, a thankfulness that is not seasonal, but perpetual. Let my gratitude not be reactive but proactive. Let it be the atmosphere of my heart, the soundtrack of my soul. Let it rise in the waiting. Let it overflow in the trial. Let it roar louder than worry. Let it decorate even the darkest valleys with hope. Thank you for the mountains I did not know I was climbing until I reached the top. Thank you for the valleys that taught me to find beauty in the shadows. Thank you for the no's that became redirections. Thank you for the closed doors that were actually you saying, I have better. Thank you for the silence that deepened my listening. Thank you for the delays that protected me from premature promotion. Thank you for the suffering that produced oil. God, may my life forever echo this thank you, not just in what I say, but in how I serve. Not just in moments like this, but in the mundane. Let gratitude become my lens, my language, my lifestyle. And now, as the earth begins to stir from its slumber and the world slowly awakens, I remain rooted in the sacred. The veil has been lifted. Heaven has kissed earth, and this room, this hour, this breath, it all still trembles with glory. So I rise from this place not emptied, but filled, not drained, but awakened, not anxious, but expectant, not striving, but surrendered. This is the posture I carry with me into my work, my relationships, my decisions, into the quiet corners of the day when no one is watching, into the loud ones when everyone is. I carry this fire, not to burn out but to ignite others. Let me carry this fire into broken places, Lord, not to condemn, but to comfort, not to judge, but to lift. Let me step into chaos with a stillness that disarms fear. Let me move through crowds with a presence that calms storms. I do not want to merely survive this life. I want to live it ablaze with holy love, so deeply rooted in your presence that everything false burns away in its light. Make my life a lighthouse, God, one that signals hope to the wandering, one that stands firm in every storm, one that does not move when the winds of culture shift, but shines all the more clearly, not because of what I say, but because of who I become in you. Let there be such a consistency in my character, such a purity in my motives, that even those who disagree with my faith cannot deny my love. And if you ask me to walk alone for a season, I will not curse the silence. I will learn to recognize it as holy ground, because solitude with you is not loneliness, it is intimacy. And in that quiet, you reveal what crowds could never teach me. You peel away the false layers. You silence the imposter voices. You reveal the gold hidden beneath years of self-protection and performance. So I embrace the refining. Even when it hurts, I trust the pruning. Even when I do not understand it, I know that you cut not to harm, but to heal. You remove only what hinders fruit. You expose only what you intend to restore. You reveal what I have hidden so that shame loses its grip and truth can finally take root. Let me live unafraid of exposure, not because I am perfect, but because I know the mercy of the one who sees it all and loves me still. Let me live with nothing to prove and nothing to hide, fully confident that I am clothed in righteousness, not because of my effort, but because of your cross. And Lord, when the crowds do come, when opportunities arise, when influence increases, let the private altar always burn hotter than the public platform. Let my first ministry always be to you. Let my heart never become a stage. Let me be more concerned with pleasing heaven than trending on earth. If you give me a voice, let it carry truth. If you give me a platform, let it be built on prayer. If you give me influence, let it be stewarded with trembling. If you give me success, let it not seduce me. I do not want to lose my soul while gaining applause. I do not want to become impressive and lose intimacy. I would rather be unknown and faithful than celebrated and compromised. So give me a holy resistance to pride. Lord, guard my heart from the slow drift into self-glory. Keep me grounded in gratitude. Keep me small in my own eyes. Remind me often that without you, I am nothing, that every gift, every open door, every miracle, every breath, it is all grace, pure grace. And Father, I pray now over the assignments you have entrusted to me, the calling you placed on my life before time began. I will not bury it. I will not delay it. I will not disqualify myself with excuses. I say yes again. Yes to the writing. Yes to the speaking. Yes to the building. Yes to the mentoring. Yes to the hidden obedience no one claps for. Yes to the risk. Yes to the long road. Yes to the cost. Yes to the crown. Let my life be poured out like oil, fragrant, costly, poured without reserve at your feet. And even if the room does not understand it, even if some call it wasteful, let me never hesitate to give you my everything. You deserve it all, not just my Sundays, not just my morning prayers, not just the polished parts, but every second, every wound, every win, every breath. You are worthy of it all. Let this be the legacy I leave behind, not just sermons preached or songs sung, but lives touched, chains broken, hope restored. Let my children and my children's children walk in freedom. Because of the altars I built, let my ceiling become their floor. Let them inherit more than just my words. Let them inherit my prayers, my integrity, my fire. May they know that long before anyone knew my name, heaven knew my cry. May they say, my parent prayed when no one was watching. May they rise with boldness because they saw me kneel and surrender. May the anointing on their lives be doubled, tripled, not because of talent, but because of proximity to your presence. And Lord, even when I see only a small harvest, remind me that every seed of faith sown in love never returns void, that the most powerful work often happens beneath the surface, that the secret place is where the kingdom advances. Let me never despise the small beginnings. Let me never demand the spotlight. Let me learn to cherish the hidden years, because that is where you form lions. Give me vision to see legacy in the making when I am cleaning floors, answering emails, making meals, or sitting in long traffic. Remind me that holiness is not found in grand moments alone, but in the daily choosing to remain yielded, to walk in love, to listen when it is easier to speak, to forgive when the pain still aches. Let my legacy be built of moments the world never sees, but that heaven never forgets. And now, Lord, I lift up those still in waiting, those who have prayed this same prayer for months, years, even decades, who've watched others receive their breakthrough while they wrestle in silence. Strengthen them. Let this be the season they see fruit. Let the things they planted in tears be harvested in joy. Let them not grow weary in well-doing. Let the winds shift. Let the answers come. Let the waters part. Let this be the hour of fulfillment. I speak hope into their bones. I speak fresh wind into their lungs. I speak dreams revived, wombs reopened, minds renewed. You are the God who watches over his word to perform it. You are not done with them. Not now. Not ever. And for those who've lost hope, altogether breathe again. Holy Spirit, let hope rise like a tide that refuses to recede. Let this prayer be the rope that pulls them back from the edge. Let them feel your nearness right now, as if their name were written to every word I speak. Because it is. Because you know each one. Intimately. Tenderly. Powerfully. You have not forgotten them. You have not abandoned them. You are not withholding out of punishment, but preparing them to receive without it destroying them. You are a good Father. Even when you say wait, you are kind. Even when you say not yet, and you are faithful. Even when the timeline looks nothing like what they expected. Let the waiting refine, not wither. Let it cleanse, not crush. Let it soften hearts and sharpen vision. Let them come out of the wilderness, leaning on their beloved. Stronger, deeper, fuller than before. And finally, God, I pray for this generation. Let us not be numb. Let us not be distracted. Let us not sleep through our hour of visitation. Let us not build ministries without mantles. Let us not gather crowds without carrying crosses. Let us not speak of revival and resist repentance. Wake us up. Shake us if you must. Ruin us for anything less than the fullness of your glory. We do not want hype, we want hollowness. We do not want moments, we want movement. Let this generation burn with the fire of the upper room. Let us walk in the power of Pentecost. Let us hunger again for righteousness. Let us be known not for how loud we are, but how deeply we love. Let miracles follow not to entertain, but to point to Jesus. Let signs and wonders return not as novelty, but as normal. Let the supernatural become natural again, healing, deliverance, prophecy, revelation. Let the church be known again as the place of power, purity, and presence. Let this be our finest hour, not because of our brilliance, but because of our brokenness before you, because we dared to bow low, because we dared to believe again, because we dared to believe again. Father, you are stirring what was once dormant. You are reigniting the embers under the ashes of disappointment. You are speaking again to bones that have grown dry and brittle. You are standing at the tomes we sealed in silence and saying, come forth, not just for the famous, not just for the faithful few, but for every son, every daughter, every soul who still dares to whisper yes, Lord. And here I am, Lord, still whispering yes even after the tears, even through the trembling. Because if this is what it means to walk with you, then I will keep walking. Through unknown valleys, through quiet mornings, through closed doors and long nights. I will walk until I see what you see, until I know you like you know me, until the world around me starts to look more like heaven, because I was bold enough to believe you really meant what you said. I will walk humbly with eyes fixed on you. I will walk faithfully, even when fruit takes time. I will walk gently, carrying grace in my words. I will walk boldly, because I carry your spirit. And I will walk differently, because after this night, I am no longer the same. I feel the weight of destiny sitting heavy on my shoulders, not as a burden, but as a mantle, a sacred trust, a holy invitation to build what cannot be shaken, to love in a way that leaves no room for hate, to shine without burning out, to rest without retreating. This is not a call to do more, but to be more, to be the light, to be the salt, to be the voice crying in the wilderness, preparing the way. So prepare me, God, prepare me deeply, prepare me thoroughly, root out what is unstable, burn away what is impure, fortify what is true, fill what is empty, and let me not rush this preparation season. Let me not resent it. Let me honor it, because what you are building inside me is meant to last generations. If you must keep me hidden, keep me hidden. If you must slow my steps, slow them. If you must delay the dream, delay it. but never allow me to walk ahead of the grace you have assigned to my name. Let timing and truth kiss, and let me be ready not just to step into destiny, but to sustain it once I arrive. God, do not give me what I ask for until I am able to carry it with humility. Do not open doors that my character cannot keep open. Do not release what would pull me from your presence. I do not just want answered prayers. I want answered prayers that draw me closer to you, not further away. Let blessing never become a barrier. Let success never become a substitute. And when you do open the door, when the breakthrough bursts forth, remind me how I got here. Remind me of the nights like this, the raw cries, the whispered worship, the fire birthed in the furnace. Let me never forget that intimacy paved the way, that the oil cost something, that this fire was not for show, but for sanctification. Let me hold my miracle with trembling hands, and still hold it loosely. Let me celebrate the promise, but never cling to it more than I cling to the promiser. Let the miracle point back to the mountain where we met, to the manna that sustained me, to the mercy that carried me through deserts of delay. And for every person reading or praying alongside this moment, let them feel it too. Not just emotion, but encounter. Let this be a divine collision between desperation and glory, between human fragility and eternal strength. Let them feel the pull of heaven on their soul, the sweetness of conviction, the comfort of being known completely and loved entirely. Let chains fall off in this very moment, chains of addiction, chains of people-pleasing, chains of depression, chains of self-hatred, chains of religion without relationship, chains of shame that silence their worship. Let them break suddenly, violently, completely. Let joy erupt. Let identity emerge. Let healing begin. God, you are the only one who can turn ashes into art. And you are painting something on the canvas of my life that I cannot yet fully see, but I trust the artist. I trust the brush strokes. Even when they feel like tearing, I trust the colors. Even when they look like chaos, I trust the perspective, even when I only see fragments. You are not finished. You never leave beauty half done. So I yield again. I surrender all over again, not just in poetic language, but in posture. I lay down my opinions, my arguments, my timelines, my expectations. I lay them down so that I can rise in clarity, rise in purpose, rise in power, not from pride, but from deep dependence. Because that is what this whole journey has always been about, not arriving at some destination of worldly success, but arriving at the end of myself so you could begin, so you could build, so you could breathe, so you could be all in all. Breathe now, God. Breathe into the dry bones. Breathe into the dreams I buried. Breathe into the spaces I kept hidden. Breathe into the relationships that feel beyond repair. Breathe into my city. Breathe into my bloodline. Breathe into this generation. Let the ruach of God, the breath of life, blow through every corner of the earth, beginning right here, right now. And as you breathe, I will exhale the fear. I will exhale the doubt. I will exhale the guilt. I will exhale the bitterness. I will exhale the weariness. I will exhale the old identities that no longer fit. And I will inhale grace. I will inhale truth. I will inhale mercy. I will inhale promise. I will inhale you. And now I carry you with me not as a distant deity, but as a dwelling. You live in me. You walk with me. You fight for me. You speak through me. You dance over me. You weep with me. You rejoice within me. I am never alone. Not in the quiet. Not in the crowd. Not in the fire. Not in the valley. Not ever. You are Emmanuel, God with me. And now, I am finally with you, not just visiting, not just checking in, but abiding, resting, remaining. This is the breakthrough, not just a change in my situation, but a complete resurrection of my soul. And this resurrection, Lord, is not quiet, it is thunderous, is not fragile, it is fierce. It is the sound of chains hitting the ground, of dry bones rattling back into form, of voices once silenced now singing with holy boldness. It is the awakening I have prayed for, but did not know how to recognize. It is not just me coming alive, it is legacy. It is lineage. It is every generation behind me and ahead of me being shifted because I said yes to you in this moment. Let this yes echo louder than my fears. Let it become the sound that wakes up dormant dreams in others. Let my life become a living invitation to encounter you, not a museum of religious behavior, but a temple of your moving glory. Not a monument to what once was, but a fountain of what still flows. Let the yes I carry spread like fire, not a fire that destroys, but one that refines, purifies, and warms the hearts of the cold and weary. I ask you now for divine boldness, not the kind that barks louder, but the kind that bends deeper, the kind that is not afraid of silence, the kind that walks into dark rooms and does not panic because it knows the light lives within. The kind that walks into conflict with peace, that meets hatred with mercy, that faces the impossible with assurance. Not because I am strong, because you are in me and you are limitless. So I reject every ceiling placed over my life by people, by history, by circumstance, even by myself. I break every lie that told me I had to earn what you freely gave. I dismantle the belief that I must perform for love. You chose me before I ever chose you. You loved me while I was still lost. You crowned me while I still thought I was crawling. And that love rewrites everything. It rewrites how I see myself. No longer a slave, but a son. No longer an orphan, but a daughter. No longer forgotten, but sealed. No longer behind, but aligned. And because of that, I can dream again. I can ask again. I can run again, not away, but toward the calling I once feared. Let the wind of your spirit blow through every locked gate, through every door I have been afraid to knock on, through every room I closed off long ago. I do not want to live in limitation when you have called me to inheritance. I do not want to dwell in survival when you have destined me for impact. I do not want to merely manage pain. I want to walk in total healing. So God, here I am. No pretense. No masks. No half offerings. Just me. Wholehearted. Bare. available, ready, do whatever you want, interrupt my schedule, rewrite my plans, stretch my capacity, deepen my roots, challenge my pride, elevate my perspective, transform my language, ignite my creativity, fuel my compassion, shape my destiny. Let my life be a sound you release into the earth, one that breaks atmospheres open, one that calls prodigals home, one that shakes dead religion and awakens authentic hunger. I do not want to echo the culture, I want to echo heaven. I want to carry the sound of surrender, the fragrance of faith, the mark of mercy. Let me love dangerously. Let me serve when it costs. Let me give when it stretches. Let me speak when it is unpopular. Let me silence the accuser by the power of the blood. Let my worship be warfare. Let my obedience be unshakable. Let my joy be defiant in the face of despair. Let my praise thunder even, and the walls have not fallen yet. And when I do not feel it, when the tears 1T fall, when the words 1T come, when faith feels thin and fire feels distant, remind me, Lord, that it was never about my feelings. It has always been about your faithfulness. And even on the days when I falter, you remain. Even when I lose the song, you are still the melody. So anchor me deeper than emotion. Root me in eternal truth. Build my faith on the bedrock of your nature, not on what I receive, but on who you are. And you, God, are unchanging, the same yesterday, today, and forever. Let my heart be permanently branded with this encounter. Let me never forget this sacred hour, not just because of what shifted around me, but because of what was resurrected within me. Let this prayer be more than a memory. Let it be the catalyst that changed everything. Let it mark the end of hesitation and the beginning of holy momentum. Let it awaken what religion suppressed. Let it clear the fog of distraction. Let it silence the lies that kept me small. Let it resurrect the roar of a child who knows their father is near. I am that child, and I am no longer afraid, not of failure, not of success, not of delay, not of exposure, not of being misunderstood, not of outgrowing old seasons, not of stepping into new ones. I am not afraid because you are already in every moment I am about to live. You are already standing in my future, waving me forward, beckoning me higher. So I go not because I know what is ahead, but because I trust the one who is calling me. I walk in step with the Spirit. I walk clothed in strength and dignity. I walk with oil on my head and fire in my bones. I walk with heaven's wind at my back and mercy lighting my path. I walk as one who has been with God. Let every step leave a trail of glory. Let every word drip with wisdom. Let every breath declare, He is faithful. And if I ever start to forget, if the world's noise begins to drown out your whisper, bring me back here, to this place, to this silence, to this fire, to this holy hour where I first heard the rumble of resurrection. Remind me of the power of a whispered yes, of the majesty found in midnight surrender, of the joy that springs up when the Spirit breathes. This is not the end. This is the beginning of a new way of walking, of seeing, of living. I am not who I was. Not anymore. This is breakthrough, not a moment, but a lifestyle. Not an emotion, but a reorientation. Not a blessing I chase, but a presence I host. And as I go from this place, I carry this truth engraved in my spirit. You are with me. You are for me. You are in me. You are enough. And because of that, I lack nothing. I fear nothing. I miss nothing. I live awake. I love deeply. I speak boldly. I walk freely. I worship constantly. Because this is not just a prayer, it is my life. And it has only just begun. And though this feels like the crescendo, I sense you are still speaking. Still revealing. Still beckoning me deeper. Because there is no bottom to your presence. No limit to your glory. No edge to your compassion. I could sit here for hours. And still, there would be more of you to know. More of your heart to discover. More of your voice to recognize. What a wonder that the God who crafted galaxies bends low to listen when I breathe your name. So I keep breathing it, not just here, not just now, but always. Jesus in my inhale, Jesus in my exhale, Jesus in the stillness and in the storm, Jesus in the tension and the triumph, Jesus when I understand, and Jesus when I do not, Jesus when I am surrounded, and Jesus when I feel alone. Let that name be the anthem of my life. Let it saturate every moment. Every conversation. Every thought. Every dream. Let it not be a name I only whisper in crisis, but the name that becomes my lifestyle. The sound that breaks through confusion. The melody that calms my anxieties. The banner over every room I enter. You are not just a part of my story, you are the plot, the page, the pen, the author, the narrator, and the ending. Everything else flows from you. And now, in the clarity that comes only after complete surrender, I do not just want to live with you, I want to live from you. Every step I take, flowing from your spirit. Every thought I think, flowing from your word. Every dream I chase, flowing from your purpose. Let my life be a song, composed by you. Let the verses tell of your mercy. Let the chorus shout of your faithfulness. Let the bridge sing of your redemption, and let the ending be open, unfinished because eternity is still unfolding. And God, I pray for courage to let go of anything that does not serve this symphony. If it distracts me from intimacy, I lay it down. If it feeds my ego more than my spirit, I release it. If it impresses people but distances me from you, it is not worth it. I choose depth over display, substance over style, surrender over striving. I do not want to be impressive, I want to be impactful. I do not want to go viral, I want to bear fruit. I do not want to be loud, I want to be anointed. I do not want to be known, I want to be trusted by heaven. Trust me, Lord, with your burdens, the ones that break your heart, the places you long to visit but are waiting for a willing vessel. If you are searching for someone to send, here I am. Send me to the broken places, to the hard conversations, to the places where revival is not trending, to the lives who one post about it afterward, but whose eternities will be changed forever. And let me never go alone. Let me walk with the cloud by day and the fire by night. Let every assignment be saturated in prayer. Let every yes be weighed by your spirit. I do not want to chase open doors without first sitting at your feet. If you do not go with me, I won't move. Even if the platform looks perfect. Even if the opportunity looks divine. Even if it offers comfort, visibility, or affirmation. If it costs me my peace. If it distracts me from the secret place. If it lures me away from stillness, it is not you. Train me to recognize your peace as my compass. To sense your pleasure more than man's approval. To hear your whisper above the noise of the crowd. To crave your word more than a breakthrough. To prioritize your presence over every performance. And when I fall short, because I will be there to lift me, not with shame, but with grace, not with punishment, but with patience. You have never been a God who kicks the wounded. You are the shepherd who leaves the 99 for the one. You are the father who runs toward the rebel while they are still a long way off. You are the comforter who sits with the crushed until they can breathe again. You are the one who stayed when others left. The one who held me when I could not hold myself. The one who remembered my prayers when I forgot I prayed them. The one who still chooses me even when I would not have chosen me. So remind me, again and again, of my worth not based on performance, but on purchase. I was bought with a price, redeemed by the blood, sealed with the Spirit. Not because I earned it, but because you loved me too much to leave me lost. And that love changes everything. It rewrites my story. It reframes my suffering. It redefines my purpose. It reorients my joy. It recovers what I thought was gone forever. Even now, I can feel restoration beginning, not just of circumstances, but of self, of clarity, of childlike wonder, of the sacred courage to hope again, to trust again, to believe that the best is not behind me but ahead, that you are still writing, still weaving, still redeeming every torn thread. And as the minutes pass and this sacred hour stretches into the rhythms of the day, I feel no rush to leave. Because you go with me, you remain in me. You do not just visit for the breakthrough, you abide for the long haul. You are not a distant responder. You are a daily companion. So let every action from this moment forward be a continuation of this prayer. Let every breath I take say, I remember. Let every decision echo, I belong to Him. Let every room I enter carry the weight of this encounter. Let every shadow I face shrink beneath the light I now carry. Let every temptation be silenced by the memory of your voice. And when I feel tired again, because life will pull and battles will come, lead me back here, back to the well that never runs dry, back to the whisper that reminds me I am loved, back to the place where time does not matter and tears become worship, back to the altar where everything false is burned away, and all that remains is the unshakable truth that I am yours. This is not a chapter I will close. This is not a flame I will let flicker. This is the start of a lifestyle that walks daily in the glow of communion. A posture that resists panic. A heart that beats to the rhythm of heaven. A soul that remembers God met me between 2AM and 3AM. and I was never the same. So Lord, let this awareness follow me like a shadow, not haunting, but holy. Let me become so accustomed to your nearness that it becomes unnatural to walk without it. I do not want to compartmentalize your presence reserved for early mornings or quiet evenings. I want it fused into every moment, woven into every breath, saturating every detail of my existence. Let it be known not just through my words, but through my response to difficulty, that I walk with God, that I have tasted a different realm, that I heard the voice that breaks chains, that I have bowed in secret so I can stand in public without wavering. Let the fruit of this hidden fire be undeniable. Let peace be my reputation. Let love be my language. Let wisdom be my aroma. Make me trustworthy with the weight of glory. Train me to walk softly with power, to hold influence like a sword sheathed in humility, to use words that pierce the darkness but never wound the broken, to move through spaces with the awareness that I am carrying something holy, that my body is a temple, not a billboard, that my calling is sacred, not for sale. Let my motives remain uncluttered, God. Purify the ambition in me until all that remains is desire to see your kingdom come. Your will be done, not just in church buildings, but in homes, in schools, in prisons, in places where your name is mocked and your truth rejected. Let revival not be reduced to an event. I want it to be the air I breathe, the culture I carry, the overflow of a life consumed by you. And if I must carry burdens others do not see, if I am called to fast when others feast, if I am marked for a road that costs more than I expected, let me say yes again, without hesitation. Let me never envy ease. Let me never crave comfort more than calling. Let me remember that oil only comes from the crushing, that glory is always preceded by surrender. So I lay it all down again. My name, my plans, my dreams, my disappointments, my doubts, my desire to be understood, my fear of being forgotten, my need to always know what is next. I lay them all at your feet and trust that what you return to me will be better, deeper, purer, and what you keep, I no longer mourn, 'cause if it does not remain in your presence, I do not want it. If it cannot walk with me into the next season of consecration and fire, let it fall away. Let it fade gently. Let it return to the dust, because I am done trying to keep alive what you have already crucified. Resurrect only what carries eternal weight. Resurrect only what reflects your image. Resurrect only what will multiply for the sake of your glory. And Lord, as I continue in this posture of listening, I begin to see the faces of those I am meant to reach, not as numbers, not as followers, not as projects, but as souls. Precious, chosen, deeply loved souls. Some of them have never heard their name spoken in prayer before. But now, through this moment, you are calling them out of darkness into light. You are calling the one sleeping on a bench with nowhere to go, the one scrolling in silence with eyes full of tears, the one sitting in a church but dying inside, the one who left the faith years ago, but still secretly wonders if you miss them. The one with trauma so deep they can put it into words. The one wearing the smile but holding the blade. The one whose last prayer was decades ago. And the one whose first prayer is happening right now. In a whisper of desperation. Call them, Lord. Find them. Chase them. Wrap them in a love that does not flinch. Interrupt their patterns. Flood their rooms. Shake their foundations if you must, but do not let them stay in chains. Don't let them believe the lie that they have gone too far, waited too long, or failed too deeply. Let this prayer be the sound of heaven cracking open the sky over them. Let it be the roar that wakes the sleepers. Let it be the gentle knock that melts the hardened. Let it be the trumpet that calls prodigals home. Let it be the hand that reaches across the timeline of eternity to pull them close. You are not finished with them. You never were. The enemy has tried to assassinate purpose through distraction, through shame, through cycles, but tonight, those cycles are breaking, not by might, not by power, but by your spirit. Deliverance is falling like rain. Restoration is rushing like wind. Hope is rising like the sun. And I believe for every name I have carried in my spirit, but never spoken aloud, that you are already moving. I believe the testimony is already being written, the healing already initiated, the reconciliation already stirring. Even if I never see it with my eyes, I will rejoice as if it is done, because in your economy, nothing is ever wasted, and no prayer ever dies. And as I come to the edge of words, my soul begins to sing, not with melody, but with memory, with moments of your faithfulness. I remember the nights you held me, when I did not even know how to pray, the mornings you whispered peace before I opened my eyes, the conversations you orchestrated that saved me from despair, the kindnesses you tucked into ordinary days to remind me I am known. You have never stopped showing up. Not once. Not when I turned my back. Not when I doubted your goodness. Not when I questioned your silence. Not when I blamed you for pain you never authored. Not when I wept over things I thought you withheld. You were always there. You are here still. And now that I have seen you again, really seen you, how could I ever return to lesser loves? So anchor me in this reality. Let the sacred never grow stale. Let me guard this fire with diligence. Let me steward this oil with reverence. Let me walk out this breakthrough with trembling joy, with quiet confidence, with fierce gentleness. Let my life from this day forward be evidence that the God of 2AM is still waking people up for miracles, for healing, for mercy, for mission. Let my life be proof that your presence changes everything. So let me never trivialize the holy interruptions again. Let me not brush past the nudge to wake, to weep, to worship when the world sleeps. Because what you do in the midnight hour shapes the destiny of daylight. What you whisper in the silence carries weight to shift entire atmospheres. And what you stir in the secret place bears fruit that outlives me. Remind me again and again that this is not wasted time. It is sacred warfare. This is not weakness. It is the very core of strength. This is not passivity. It is the front line of battle, where angels are dispatched, where chains dissolve, where altars are built with tears and trust, where the unseen becomes more real than anything my eyes have ever known. I feel the veil thinning again. Lord, the boundary between heaven and earth becoming transparent. I sense the nearness of angels, the charge of divine assignments, the weight of generational prayers hanging in the air. This moment is not just about me, it is about the bloodline you are healing through me, the future you are preparing through my obedience, the lives you are restoring through my surrender. So I step into this moment not with hesitation, but with holy fire. Let every compromise be burned away. Let every idol crumble. Let every counterfeit voice be silenced by the thunder of your truth. You are not merely cleansing me, you are commissioning me. This is not just purification, it is preparation. Prepare me to carry what I once prayed for, but was not ready to steward. Prepare me to withstand storms I did not see coming. Prepare me to speak when silence would be safer. Prepare me to lead even when I feel hidden. Prepare me to love even when it costs me comfort. Prepare me to be a safe place for others to meet you. And as you prepare me, increase my hunger. Let my spirit thirst with a desperation no earthly thing can quench. Let me become dissatisfied with spiritual routines that lack power. Let me crave encounters over applause. Let me prioritize presence over productivity. Let every gift you have given be returned to you daily, my voice sanctified, my mind renewed, my hands consecrated, my time submitted, my influence aligned, my desires refined by fire. And God, even now, as this hour deepens, I feel you inviting me further still, not just into revelation, but into rest. Not the rest of inactivity, but the rest that comes from knowing the war is already won. That you go before me, that nothing surprises you, that no weapon formed against me will prosper, because you hold every outcome in your sovereign hand. Teach me to live from victory, not for it, to walk with authority, not arrogance, to fight battles knowing you have already declared the ending, to pray not with doubt, but with divine expectancy. I declare over this moment and every moment to come, I am no longer a prisoner of fear. I am not bound by timelines, titles, or trauma. I am not defined by the voices that tried to shape me with shame. I am not the product of pain. I am the product of promise. I am the fulfillment of prayers prayed in silence, the answer to petitions lifted by ancestors I have never met. I carry the weight of glory that transcends blood and bone. So awaken my memory. Holy Spirit, let me remember who I am. Let me remember who you are. Let me remember what has already been broken. Let me remember what has already been finished. Let me remember the cross, the empty tomb, the upper room. Let me remember that I am not asking for victory, I am enforcing it. And even as my body grows tired and the world begins to stir awake, my spirit remains alert. Let this hour not fade into just another morning. Let it become the altar I return to again and again, where I remind my soul, this is who we are. This is what we believe. This is the God we serve. This is the fire we carry. Let my children, whether born or yet to be, inherit the fruit of these whispered prayers. Let them grow up in a home saturated with your presence, built on truth, filled with joy, marked by miracles. Let the oil that flows from this altar anoint not just me, but everyone I touch. Let my home become a sanctuary. Let my car become a chapel. Let every space I enter become a territory of peace. And let me never be casual with your glory. Let me never get used to miracles. Let me never forget that I once cried for what I now walk in. Let gratitude flood me like a river, not just when blessings come, but in every breath you lend me. Let me worship in traffic. Let me praise in pain. Let me declare in darkness. Let me rejoice in weakness. Let every trial remind me that this is not the end, is the evidence that something holy is being forged within me. I do not walk alone. I do not speak alone. I do not battle alone. The King of Heaven walks beside me, lives within me, and fights for me. So I lift my hands not because everything is perfect, but because I know who holds perfection. I lift my voice not because I feel strong, but because I know where my strength comes from. I lift my eyes not because the mountain is gone, but because my helper stands higher than it. I lift my spirit not because the world makes sense, but because you reign above it. And as I continue to pray through the dawn, I carry this fire into the light. And if this prayer has stirred something deep within you, if it has awakened your spirit in the stillness of the night, if it has reminded you that God still sees you, still hears you, still fights for you, then I invite you to share it. Share it with someone whose soul is weary. Share it with the one who has forgotten how to believe. Share it with the one who wakes up at 2 a.m., not knowing why they can sleep, and needs to know that it is because heaven is calling. Let this prayer not just stay in your heart, let it ripple outward like a wave of hope. Because someone out there is waiting for a word, and you might be the vessel. Thank you for walking this sacred path of prayer with me. Thank you for staying in the presence of God when the world tells you to rush. Thank you for choosing faith when fear was loud. Thank you for believing that breakthrough is not only possible, it is near. May the peace of God flood your home. May His voice become louder than every lie. May your nights be filled with divine encounters, and your days overflow with answered prayers. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are being led, loved, and lifted every single moment. God bless you. And if this prayer has blessed you, please share it with someone else who needs a breakthrough. From the depths of my heart, thank you.